In this module of the Financial Analyst Interview Success Seminar, we will go over some financial analyst interview questions you will be asked during your interview. So far, we've gone over two subject areas: the core characteristics financial analyst hiring managers look for, and how you can use those key concepts to effectively answer the questions in your interview. Before we go any further, I want to explicitly state that in this video, we will be going over three financial analyst interview questions. The first question is about variance analysis, the second is about how you have used your technical skills, and finally, a problem-solving question. If I had it my way, I would have also included additional questions on budgeting and forecasting, financial reporting, expense analysis, or month-end reporting, some sort of question asking about the type of in-depth analysis you have performed in the past, what you learned from it, and how you could use it at the job you are interviewing for. Also, a research-based question to test your ability to look for information when you hit a roadblock. I'd like a question testing your ability to interpret, compare, reconcile, and summarize large amounts of data into meaningful reports. A question testing your Microsoft Excel or some other technical proficiency. And a question testing your understanding of key finance concepts taken from the Technical Interview Prep Binder. These are just some of the questions from my ACE the Financial Analyst Interview Preparation course I wanted to walk you through. However, there is no possible way I could fit it all in without sacrificing the quality and length of this video. And if you know me, then you know I like to go into detail so you can truly understand how to answer the question and stand out in your interview. Therefore, if you're interested in additional questions and sample answers I alluded to earlier, then check out the prep course. I also want to take this moment to congratulate you on being a step ahead of all the other candidates who are probably sitting at home confused and surfing the internet for information that essentially may or may not be relevant to their financial analyst interview. Right now, you are ahead, so don't give up your lead. Being a financial analyst can be a very rewarding career option, but getting the job can be tricky, if not downright nerve-wracking. As someone who was rejected 11 times before finally landing my first financial analyst gig, to working as a financial analyst in various capacities, to becoming a hiring manager, I understand the process, and it can be tough. I see excellent candidates all the time who deserve the job but fail to present themselves in a manner that allows the hiring manager to offer it to them. There is a gap, and one I try to minimize with my program and these workshop videos. What makes it more aggravating is when you don't know where to begin, or what questions you are going to be asked, and what exactly the interviewer is looking for. It becomes a never-ending cycle of roadblocks, and one reason why I kept failing. For me, receiving one rejection letter after another, it hit hard. But as I reached out to recruiters, successful candidates, and current financial analysts to determine the reasons for my failure, I discovered a system that successful candidates were using to ace their financial analyst interview. Once I implemented this system, I received 5 financial analyst offers and 1 rejection letter, much better than 0 offers and 11 rejection letters I had received in the past year. I go over this system, the structure, and how to prepare for the financial analyst interview in my prep course titled ACE the Financial Analyst Interview. Before we get into the first question, let me just walk you through how I like to structure these. I will first tell you the financial analyst interview question, followed by a discussion clearly explaining what the interviewer is looking for, and finally, I will provide you with an actual answer to the interview question. I call this the two-coin approach. It has been proven very successful in allowing my members to obtain their financial analyst positions. One thing I absolutely hated when I was preparing for my financial analyst interviews was when so-called experts said, do this and do that, but they never showed you the how. It drove me absolutely insane. It's like telling a starving person the importance of fishing and why eating fish will help his hunger problems, but not showing the poor guy how to fish. You will see in my book, my Financial Analyst Prep Course, and my training videos, I strive to provide you with the complete information. In this case, the interview question, a discussion of what the interviewer is looking for, and an example of what to say to ensure that you are hitting the interviewer's check marks across the board. Okay, let's get to the first question. Tell me about a time where you use flux or variance analysis to come to a conclusion. Here, the hiring manager does not actually care that you can talk for 20 minutes defining variance analysis. This is just a lead-in to the ultimate question, which is, give me an example of how you used variance analysis to come to a conclusion. Beware, do not start rambling incoherently. It is extremely important that you provide a structured response. I don't have time for it here, but I go over how to structure your responses to ensure maximum effect on page 10 of the Ace Your Financial Analyst Interview Prep Book. I call it the Winning Interview Combo Secret, and it has allowed myself and my members who have struggled in their interview with formulating appropriate responses that the interviewer remembers. For this question, it is important to identify the problem, discuss the variance analysis, its cause and impact, and a proposed corrective action. Here is a sample answer. Pay close attention to the structure, the use of hard numbers, and how I ended my response. Well, Peter, in my previous role at Unilever, I was part of a team responsible for identifying changes in budgeted values that resulted in material changes to our financial statements. Our mandate was to explain variances in excess of 10%. I usually begin my analysis by querying our standard general ledger accounts and ensuring that I answer the 3 C's. They are what caused the change, where the changes occurred, and when the change occurred. An example of a flux or variance analysis I completed when I was assigned to identify the variances for our program and operating outlays for the past 12 months, I analyzed our general ledger and identified an outlay decrease of $800,000. After further analysis, I discovered that the decrease of $800,000 was for the New Jersey location. This decrease was due to the completion of our company's satellite operations facility construction contract in the second quarter of last year, which resulted in my firm billing the reimbursable work authorizations funded by our company. This explained the variance, and my manager praised me for the exceptional analysis and detailed report. The structure of this sample is good. It begins strong and does not waste the interviewer's time and patience. The use of hard facts and percentages are used, which is something that I always recommend, and it demonstrates the fact that you are knowledgeable and deeply involved with the process. Now I want to bring your attention that I went a bit deeper into the sample answer and began talking about specifics. For example, I spoke about the New Jersey location and the satellite operations facility construction contract. In my prep book and other training videos, I know that I tell you to keep specifics to a minimum and only use it if it adds to the answer, because frankly, interviewers don't really care about the internal workings of the organization you previously worked at. They simply want to know if you can work and add value to the organization they work at. This is why you must listen closely to the interview question and ascertain if going into specifics will make you answer better or worse. In this case, the use of specifics is vital as the interviewer wants to know how you went about doing the analysis and how you came to the overall conclusion. Going into detail is essential as it provides the interviewer with the complete picture. Take a look at page 52 in the ACE the Financial Analyst Interview Prep Guide, where I go into much more detail. The next question we're going to go over is, describe a time when you had to use your technical skills to develop a recommendation for management. Walk me through your thought process. All financial analyst job postings have at least one technical requirement. It could be being proficient in Microsoft Excel, possessing exceptional financial modeling ability, or having at least an introductory exposure to basic databases or Microsoft Access. These tools allow the financial analyst to perform better analysis, offer optimum solutions, and produce actionable reports. Make sure, and I cannot stress this enough, to look over the job description and identify the technical requirements of the role and be prepared to be asked at least one question to test your proficiency. Here is a sample answer of how you could answer this question. Well, Peter, that's a great question. At my previous role at Bank of America, I was tasked with developing a financial model to better understand if strategic initiatives we implemented throughout the company's annual life cycle were actually meeting growth targets. The growth target metric was important because it was the primary reason why senior management justified investing in the initiative in the first place. I first started with understanding the goal, what we were trying to achieve, what we wanted to know, and what problem this model was going to solve. Thereafter, I collaborated with our product finance teams to retrieve expense and growth information to begin building my financial model. Most financial models I had built in the past had to deal with creating projections about the future state. This task was different as I was primarily trying to understand the growth metric from a historical standpoint, and thus I had to adjust the way I link assumptions to other metrics. I utilized lookup to extrapolate data from various spreadsheets and leverage tables to organize the information to better understand how the metrics were calculated. After completing the model, I came to the conclusion that several strategic initiatives were not meeting their targets. The primary reason for this was the assumptions managers in various departments had used were vastly dated. Moreover, the managers were inconsistent when outlining their assumptions, which caused great differences in the growth metric. I recommended that assumptions be revisited when developing future forecasts and a consistent financial model be developed to ensure consistency of metrics across departments. In the end, management was pleased with my effort and provided me with increased responsibility of ensuring my recommendations were put into place. I go over this question and questions like it on pages 72 and 73. It would be helpful to review those pages so that you know exactly how to structure a technical answer and hit the competencies that the hiring manager is looking for. The next question we are going to go over is, give me an example of a problem you faced on the job and tell me how you solved it. This is a problem-solving question that tests your critical thinking skills. It is a great question for showing that you are a creative and capable problem solver. Here is a sample answer. That's a great question. At my last job, I frequently had outstanding invoices that would throw off my accounts receivable. I was responsible for getting out weekly revenue reports to my VP, and we regularly made important decisions based on this information. So it was the utmost importance that my reports were as accurate as possible. First of all, I always made sure I had great relationships with the account managers, so I always knew I could write a quick email or make a quick call, and the account managers would help me out with issues surrounding client payment. Also, I would research the problem thoroughly so I had all my ducks in a row before I started asking questions and taking up other people's time. I would try to solve the problem on my own at first with the information available to me. Also, I would start to create the reports on Wednesdays. That made sure I would have plenty of time to get to the bottom of things in case any issues happened to come up. This way, I was able to solve the frequent problem of accounting discrepancies. Being a financial analyst is a very rewarding career option, and although the struggle to obtain employment can be a difficult process, the rewards are definitely worth the effort. I've had the opportunity to work on the buy side and the sell side, but also participate in great analysis in various financial analyst positions I have held. I urge you to take the time, work through the struggle, and prepare yourself for the interview. Even if you don't have an interview right now and you feel demoralized as I was, if becoming a financial analyst is important to you, the last thing you want to do is give up. Now, we've gone over 3 financial analyst interview questions in this video. I wanted to go over many more, but due to time constraints on this video, I wasn't able to do that. For example, we still need to go over questions related to your ability to interpret, compare, reconcile, and summarize large amounts of data into meaningful reports. A question testing your Microsoft Excel or some other technical proficiency. A question testing your understanding of key finance concepts taken from the technical interview prep binder, and more. If you feel you would benefit from these additional questions, discussions on why you are being asked the question, along with a sample answer that you can immediately begin practicing with, then check out my Ace the Financial Analyst Interview Preparation Package. Finally, I want to wish you the best of luck on preparing for your upcoming financial analyst interview. Also, if you do receive an offer, please email me with your success story. The best part of my day is when I receive your success stories. I get satisfaction knowing that my training videos, prep books, blog, and audio programs are making a positive difference. On the other side as well, if you find there's something missing or incorrect, please let me know. I am far from perfect, and any improvements you can recommend will help our community tremendously. Also, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me at peter@financialanalystinterview.com. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep shining, keep learning, and keep striving to make your dreams